Polar bears are solitary, except during times of vital social bonding, such as when bringing up cubs. Males do not raise their offspring. It's the mothers that provide all the parental care. A small cub offers few calories, but adult bears do sometimes kill infants, perhaps to wipe out competitors' genes and force a female to mate again. The polar bear is a heavyweight champion, and despite its massive bulk, it can charge at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour. Taken by this little family, Arne decides to give the mother a nickname, Ursula, after Ursus maritimus. He watches as she leads her cubs to an old hunting ground. Walrus carcasses are often still here from the previous years, when the polar bears gorged on the fat and discarded the rest of the bodies. Luckily, Ursula has up to 11 centimeters of blubber under her own fur to see her through these lean times. Cubs normally stick with their mother for about 2.5 years. Their survival on the ice depends on her. If only it would return. Because this year the walruses are staying away from the beach where normally they haul themselves out of the water, they huddle offshore, seemingly content to let their predators pick over the remains of the dead. Perhaps the number of stranded bears is just too much of a deterrent. Nikita uses a disused ship's navigation tower as shelter during his long hours head counting. In past years, these shores would have offered plenty of fresh walrus blubber for more than 100 polar bears. Nikita knows. He's counted them. But very few of the carcasses are here from polar bear kills. Most of these victims were crushed to death in their panic to get back into the water when the colony was spooked. By rights, the bears should be gorging on fresh blubber right now, leaving the meat behind for the snowy owls. Arne wonders how normally solitary nomads cohabit without friction. Could one reason be the need to conserve energy? With such a huge build, they can expend far more energy than most mammals. Hence their preference for still hunting, sitting over ice holes waiting for a seal to pop up for air, better than taking the plunge to open water. Polar bears manage to catch their prey less than 2% of the time. But these odds may still be better than trying to land an uncooperative reindeer. And walrus that won't come out of the water. With only meager scraps from years gone by, Nikita's shack with its full larder is a beacon in a land of want. The bears' prospects of a fresh meal diminish, but it could be a lot worse. At least Nikita protects them from poachers, although his and Arne's own survival must come first. But so far, Nikita has had around 1,000 encounters with polar bears without any harm to himself or the bears. His unique policing technique pays off. Nikita uses a psychological approach. Polar bears are highly inquisitive animals with a keen ability to learn new things. In spite of keeping the bears at arm's length, he lives as close as is humanly possible to them. Without his daring intimacy, he couldn't examine year after year the changes that take place in their behavior. His work is a crucial contribution to our understanding of the polar bear's chances of survival in the face of climate change. And after so many years living alongside polar bears, Nikita knows how they operate. Research shows that in almost all cases, polar bears attacking people were either provoked or desperate for food. People walking or running away can also trigger the bear's instincts to give chase to a potential prey animal. Here comes Siku again. The juvenile male is always too nosy for his own good.
I think he is just curious about what's going on here, but also he is checking campground in hope to find some remains. So I have to push him away and not to let him get used for staying with us.
Nanook, though, has someone else in his sights. Is this Ursula hanging around again? Nanook is a hardy Samoyed, but he's barely on the right side of the thin divide between life and death. If this is the female that Arne calls Ursula, then something is wrong. She had 2 cubs. A female would never leave a cub behind unless something had happened. An adult may be able to take life on Cape Blossom in its stride, but cubs face a daunting future alone. Around here, nothing is certain.